B4U today, I have a lady. Every time I see her, actually, some people, when you meet, it's like they say, music to your ears. With her, it really is. It's almost like time has stood still with her voice. It has never changed. Mate, Shreya Ghoshal, how are you?
मैं बहुत अच्छी हूँ सलील जी
But it,
lovely.
but it is true, even though after so long, and I remember the last time we spoke was just before the world was going into turmoil. You were going to go to London for this big tour, and all that suddenly changed. And now here we are again with another track out. But how has it been for you? A lot of artists who are creative, who like to, who like to be involved, meet their friends, meet their musicians, create some magic. Some people it was very tough for you. How have you been?
It was actually initially quite a sudden shock not being able to meet the composers, go to the studio. वो पूरे दिन का जो routine होता है ना, that madness was.
Yeah.
I was so used to it. Suddenly that happened कि everything has stopped. Nobody's meeting anyone, and that whole fear psychosis of जाना भी है नहीं भी जाना है. But then I think in a way it was a blessing in disguise. I got that break. I could actually be much more in touch with music, self learning, riyaz, discipline, things that had completely vanished from my life. I felt all those things have come back. It was I mean, I feel इस लॉकडाउन में बहुत सी चीजें जिससे जिंदगी से नाता छूट चुका था वो वापस आ गई है.
Correct, correct.
You know?
But you mentioned Riyaz. A lot of singers say that after a point of time, when they're performing so much, they're going for recordings and all that. Beyond a point of time, your body and your throat it gets accustomed to it. So, for all youngsters watching, is it still required even at your stage in your career after so long?
I think it's like, if I have to give an example, it's like sports. A sports a sportsman, like if he has to, like it's cricket, batting है,
Yeah.
uh, उसको अगर रोज वो practice या warm ups नहीं हुआ, then he will not be able to execute what he thinks is the right way to, at that moment on the pitch, how to bat, how to deliver. All those things are so important to get there in perfection. And I do feel that 2-3 days of not actually, some days when I am on a vacation, for example, and I am not singing or doing nothing, no vocal exercises except talking, the fourth day I feel that, oh, I'm not able to sing exactly what I want to sing. So I think,
Really?
yeah, I mean,
But you can feel the perceptible change that quick.
yeah, I do. I mean, it's a very minute thing, but you really, it's like muscles. uh exactly, it's these are muscles. I mean, they need warm up every day. So I mean, I understand when musicians they say that, and including me, I did have that whole uh not doing riyaz regularly thing phase for the longest time. Ye to ho chuka tha.
In the last 8-9 months, people were very creative. Some artists I met, they were super creative for 2 months. Then they had like these long lags. Salil, मेरे को कुछ करने का मन नहीं कर रहा है. Some people started playing video games. Some people started cooking. Some people went binge watching on shows. What did Shreya Ghoshal do in the lockdown?
So my initial few days were holiday. Aha, kya lamba nice holiday hai. Every day you're cooking, posting videos. Oh my God, I was like looking back of the March and April videos. Every day I am putting something, baking, and this, okay, I'm making a pasta. And like, how? Every, and everyone was doing that. I was not alone. So yeah, that phase quickly faded away, and then it started become like a complete stretch. But then for me, the creative part came after that. The first few days of that whole holiday feeling, okay, I'm doing, see, cleaning kar rahi hu, jhadu laga rahe, so, all those things quickly faded away. And then I said, ki, now what? That's when Angana Morey, this song actually happened. That creation, that seed of thought, कि नहीं नहीं, I have to do something. Apart from those, some film projects were going on, working from home, home studio लगा के रखा था. I was giving out my vocals from home. But still, something solid. I felt like I want to be a part of a full collaborative process with musicians. And so I did this, but of course, virtually. But then it was fun. I mean, it was one of these reasons I kept myself going. And yeah, these were the few moments and projects which really kept me going in this whole phase.
A lot of artists have also reinvented themselves, and I will come to this. I love the bit of dance not just visually in the song, but it's also a little bit of a slow techno beat to this as well. Also, you know, there's a lot of it's a very trancey kind of song also, and I like that. It just goes really well with your voice. But in the last 7-8 months, also a lot of people have reinvented themselves because the viewing audience has changed, listening audience has changed somehow in a very strange way, where they have now become more कि मुझे क्या सुनना है, क्या देखना है, because I know I have the time to sort of decide now. बहुत
Right.
सारे लोग, people are still at home ना, work from home तो अभी भी चालू है. So has that made artists a little more conscious? You, I know, always are very conscious, but generally around you also, have you noticed that perceivable change?
ये कॉन्शियसनेस एक्चुअली थी सब में, बट वो मौके नहीं थे. Now this is a great moment for artists, like things that you want to do, and you don't be shy to experiment and be out there telling what is your liking, and what is your favorite style of music, what is your taste, and what is your signature style. What happened so far is because of Bollywood and films, because they kind of dictate what kind of a song it has to be, what kind of texture, genre, because of the story and with whatever. There are too many people making decisions for you. Uh, right now, it's a great time for not just musicians. I feel actors and directors and everyone, because now with the influx of OTT and things like that, it's on demand. Music is on demand. Television shows are on demand. Films are on demand. And if it it is like every kind of genre has a taste and audience for it. So I like this change, and this is only going to help more artists to bring more creative uh, innovations and new stuff. Otherwise, bahut, I would say monotony has come into the way music is being, the kind of music is.
No, no, but you know, Shreya, I have to tell you, of late, now there have been some musicians like Mayur and Yashraj Mokhate and all who have sort of made it very cute.
Yeah.
So the way they have brought out music, they have said कि भाई ऐसा है, now with the way technology is, you need to have very little talent and to make something very like melodious. It can still be funny, melodious, and sometimes it scares me as to the amount of love their jokes also get, you know, at least making music and all that, because at some point a lot of people are deceived into thinking that they have a career with this. जो YouTube audience अलग है, views वाली audience अलग है, and actual content अलग है. So sometimes as senior artists who've been there for so long, you sometimes feel bad that, you know, so many now have a career that actually should not be there, because you want to say, it's like in the gym, you see somebody doing something wrong, that they say, sir ऐसा है, I'm getting more views than you are, so you keep quiet.
बात तो बहुत करेक्ट बोली है सलीम. I actually, we always, amongst musicians, and we do this discussion a lot. But the thing is, ठीक है, it's okay. Like, because of the digital presence, and because of smartphones, and everyone has so much content on their phone today with so many different apps. You do not have the ability to filter out or make a choice what I want to listen to or what I want to see. There is no way to give them an idea of how to even choose the right thing. So see, it's nobody's fault, but the point is, at the end of the day, although the ones which are coming, which are, as you said, is a mediocre quality content, but they are not for long. The thing is, it's for it's a phase, and maybe we have had such phases in the past also. They were there's these peaks which happen of certain artists, certain singers, certain one time madness wala jo thing hai. Then it dies down, but after that nobody remembers them.
Shreya Ghoshal, enthralling audiences, of course, since Dolare Dolar, and so many more songs. It's just unbelievable. But so many more questions I want to ask. The proliferation of voices in this very technical world of auto-tune. How do the more manjewe singers react to this? We'll find out in just a bit. Don't go anywhere. Hey, back on B4U Star Stop, I've got the wonderful Nightingale, as Lata Mangeshkar ji used to call her, who is the original Nightingale. It's almost like Salil Acharya and Sachin Tendulkar, and that's how they used to equate Lata Mangeshkar and Shreya Ghoshal. Thanks again for joining us. I've had filmmakers say, Salil, मैं इसको इसलिए ले रहा हूँ क्योंकि ये पॉपुलर है, मेरा गाना चल जाएगा, and then I'll also get, say, the quality of a Shreya Ghoshal to back up that also, so I'll have both. ये अब ऐसा उन्होंने बोल दिया, lot of people have told me अब ये permanent मसाला बन गया है, ये शायद जाएगा नहीं बहुत सालों तक, बिकॉज ये मसाला जो है ऑडियंसेस 13, 14, 15, 18, 24, दिस ऑडियंस फर्स्ट डिड नॉट वॉच सो मच ऑफ सिनेमा. That is what scares me sometimes. Even when I do interviews, they'll say, "Sir, why are you not doing rapid fire? Why you are not doing this kind of?" मैंने कहा यार, why can't you have a conversation? And the youngsters are dictating content to a very large extent. So, do you feel like someone like Shreya Ghoshal should be out there more often?
No, but then it's okay, na, Salil. That the thing is, let the youngster decide. I'm not saying the young generation is not smart. It will be unfair to say that. A huge, I know my stats. I do my research. I know my YouTube followers. I know my Insta. I know what is the age group who listens to me, who watches me. I know that, and they are all from the 18 to about
Yeah.
35. That is the range. It's it's an influx of that audience which is checking out what I'm doing. Uh, so how would I say I'm not out there doing viral kind of
Yeah,
thing just to catch their
yeah.
attention?
Yeah,
I'm not doing that. I'm just plain
yeah,
singing from my heart. But
yeah.
why do they like it then? So it will be unfair for us to judge them as an unintelligent audience. That's not true. In fact, the rather urban today's, I don't know what is called, Gen X, Gen Y,
Yeah.
Gen Z. I don't
Post
know which
Corona
Gen.
Gen. Post Corona Gen. I'm just
Post
going to call them
Corona
that.
Gen,
Yeah.
they are rather much more well versed with all kinds of music around them. They are listening to the West
Yeah.
stuff, from the Billie Eilishes to
Yeah.
Sam Smiths to today whatever is going on. So they do have exposure to all the music, and because of their seniors in the family, they have also exposure for all the old songs from Lata
Yeah.
Mangeshkar to Kishore Kumar.
Yeah.
We would be unfair for the young generation to be judging them as not smart. They are.
No, they're very smart, but they can dismiss also very quickly. Sometimes I realize they don't give enough time. When they watch sportsmen also, एक गंदा innings खेल लिया, sir हटा दो, put the new person in the team, put the new person in the team. This is
ठीक है,
what sometimes
वो
scares me.
patience की बात है. There's a lack. Again, I'm saying that the because of so much of content out there, you have to see. The biggest example is the song's length of a song has from 5 minute has
Yeah.
come down to a 3 minute. 3 minute is also a long song. It has to
Yeah.
be under 3 minutes. So why is that thing? It's like earlier there used to be radio edits. Now the radio
Yeah.
edits are the full songs. इसका क्या छोटा करें? So yeah, I agree that there is no sukoon, there is no way to. I don't think anybody sits and listens to music anymore. Uh, but there are fans. There are people who, I mean, whenever I go on YouTube and I see certain song of mine, and there are these people who write comments
Yeah.
at this falana 1 minute 37 seconds. She did that infliction, and I then see who is
Wow.
this person who's saying that's the one young little girl who's talking about this. And I feel so overjoyed. Then, well, we are not in that bad a situation.
No, no, you are in a slightly elevated position, because see, sometimes I'm talking about mere mortals. I can never ever, no, we cannot take you in the same tarazu as everybody else, because you are blessed and it's great also. Yeah.
But I feel that we have it's अभी हमारे हाथ से निकल चुका है ये. It is because that earlier there was, television, जहाँ पे
Yeah.
फिल्में आती थी, जहाँ पे जो गाने आ रहे हैं वो पहले तो कंपोजर ने बैठ के बहुत ताम झाम किया, गाने बनाए, उसमें 1000 गाने रिजेक्ट हो गए, डायरेक्टर को पसंद नहीं आया तो प्रोड्यूसर को कुछ पसंद नहीं आया, देन कर करा के एक एल्बम बनी. फिर उसके गाने टीवी पे आए, जो कि साल में 25 to 30 फिल्म्स आती थी. उसमें से भी कुछ really big budget, then some,
Yeah.
rather. Now there is now nobody waits for a film for
Yeah.
a song to be there. There are singers, there are people who are creating songs that are on their own from their
Yeah.
home
Yeah.
studios.
Yeah.
So many one song stars have also happened and then
Yeah.
faded away.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now the music audio streaming platforms have started pushing originals and things like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's fine, but I don't think we have not it after 2013, in around 2013-14 we had Arijit Singh.
Ah.
And I keep saying that was one name that came who made a mark. And
Yeah.
now after that, I have not had another such name with whom I can say that,
Wow.
okay, there's another one person who's here to stay for long. Then we can say
Yes.
that very confidently. There's nothing to be shy about. That's the truth.
Yeah.
You know,
Makes me sad as a viewer because you guys have such a clean ear. They know. When Lata Mangeshkar said this, Shreya Ghoshal's voice is my voice, you knew that there was a certain, you can see through the rubbish that is around, or, the grain and the wheat and the chaff, you can sort of separate it. But do you think that, what is the key? Do you think another reality show? Do you think what's the way to unearth new talent that is fully paka hua, not just little bit?
nahi hoga. It takes time. Yeah. It can't be like that every second in a month you're finding a new talent. A voice or an artist comes in 1 decade maybe. ऐसा ही होता है. That's the truth. You have to wait. You have to give it time. You have to just see what happens. There are probably some. अभी इस वक्त शायद कोई किसी गांव में रत्नागिरी में कहीं बैठा होगा कोई लड़का वो गा रहा होगा अपने घर में. उसको कुछ पता नहीं कि उसकी आवाज कहाँ तक पहुंच सकती है. Maybe someday somebody finds him, and that could be that voice of the country. And that is how it has
Will you
happened in the.
will you start a school ever? Will you ever start a school?
We've had this conversation with many
Yes.
people, uh,
Yeah.
and I've been asked this many a times. My answer to it, yes, that's my wish. I want to make sure that there is a school which educates people about music, and wherever there is a talent, helps them take it further. क्योंकि मेरे growing up time में मुझे भी gurus find करने में सबसे ज़्यादा struggle हुई थी. It was not easy to find a teacher. But I personally, I am not very sure whether I'm at a stage where I can teach music. But I can initiate people who have, expertise in certain
Yeah.
departments and help you.
Yeah.
And I have the experience wherever I am at, and all the experiences which have made me what I am today is I'm going to share it wherever possible. However,
Your brother. So he was the crux of the entire song with you to bring the flow.
yeah, so he kind of brought this whole music production in play, and that kind of changed the whole uh, way I was looking at this song. I just told him कि मुझे करना है because this just before getting into the lockdown, we were just out with a song called Na Wo Main, which was one of my first pop electronica pop kind of a venture.
Yeah.
So I wanted to do something of that sort, but also have an ability to bring some root elements like my classical singing, so merge it with. So I happened to, because I was doing something which was very close to my heart, I happened to compose and write the song myself. And this whole
Oh.
thing was such a lovely process. And I think uh, I'm here to do a little bit more of this kind of combinations, collaborations, ideate.
I like this pop electronica. It works wonderfully with your voice. It's a very Western concept also. I've seen a lot of it abroad also in a lot of concerts. India में थोड़ा कम होता है, but it's fantastic and it's very, it takes you in a trance zone. I've grown up on Paul Oakenfold and all that. So those 1990s का जो flavor है ना, that electronica. So are you also into that kind of music also? I wouldn't have imagined you would listen to that kind of music.
I have been exposed to this kind of music because of my brother, to be very honest.
Okay.
I have not never thought that I would like. See, I think our kind of rag based music
Yeah.
or folk, for rather
Yeah.
folk, it has a very meditative quality to it.
Yes.
It
Yes.
can
Yes.
easily merge very well with such kind of arrangements with
Yeah.
electronic ambient, kind of a treatment to it, if
Yeah.
it's done well without ruining the essence of the actual
Yeah.
song. Or sometimes it's overdone and
Yeah.
overboard हो जाता है, तब वो fusion के नाम पे confusion हो जाता है,
Yeah.
which I am not very fond of. I never thought I would be gay. Now I listen to a lot of this kind of ambient. I've gone to one concert also of, I think, Bonobo or Emancipator, one of them. Uh, I went there, watched the whole thing in the middle of this whole standing crowd. They were all in their own space.
Yeah.
I'm enjoying, and I was like so happy to be watching something of this kind. I've never seen,
Yeah.
because I've seen proper concerts which are like, you know, like
Yeah.
Coldplay or something
Of
like
course.
that.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
This was a different thing. I said, "Ki ye music works with my songs. We should do
Yeah.
it." That's it.
Wow.
So from there, the idea started.
But I think it's working wonderfully well. I want to hear some of it. We would love to hear a little bit if we can. I
Yeah,
mean,
of course.
nowadays I don't make a lot of the singers that join us sing, but you are, we can never leave you, so you have to sing. You have to sing for
Really?
us. Yeah,
Okay. Okay, the start is something like
yeah.
that. आओ सजन अंगना मोरे आओ सजन अंगना मोरे दिन रैन तुमरी याद सताए आओ सजन अंगना मोरे आओ सजन अंगना मोरे आओ सजन अंगना मोरे अंगना मोरे.
With you now, we should do before and after. It sounds the same. Like they do now with so many singers. Before VFX and after VFX. Before auto tune and after auto tune. How it sounds. By the way, do you ever sit on the post of the track and do you allow any type of pitch correction or anything with your song, or you just go back into the studio and sing?
In the studios, I because I'm not seeing how they are recording it because I'm on the other side of the glass.
Yeah,
Unless I feel I've done the right justice to that
yeah.
line, I will redo it. Uh, yeah, and I leave it on the composer many a times that sometimes too much of perfection is also bad. So
Yeah.
certain songs definitely need a little flaw, little raw, things. But I do not allow the softwares to touch my voice. But once I don't know what happens once I've sung, but most of the time, people who are very close to me, composers and all, they have said that we have not had to touch. So it's a blessing.
That, ladies and gentlemen, was Shreya Ghoshal. Shreya, hope to see you soon, of course. And so good to see you bright, perky, and also singing for us. Like she said, her voice has never been touched. Auto-tune doesn't exist with Shreya Ghoshal. I think that perhaps is the biggest mark there. Thanks so much for joining us. I'll catch you soon. And of course, B4U Music is where you want to keep following us all the time, and B4U Entertainment for all the videos. Bye-bye.